The late pick 4 on Preakness Day at Pimlico offers a 3 million point hit and split here at NairaBets.com. I'm the Big A Anthony Stabile. We'll try and hit that late pick 4 on Preakness Day at Pimlico. Should be a fantastic sequence, of course, wrapping up with Preakness 144. And the best place to play all of the wagers, including that late pick 4, to get that 3 million point hit and split is over at NairaBets.com. Spring 19 is the promo code. Bet 200, get 200. You want to get over to NairaBets.com. That's where all the action is, especially for Preakness Day. And there it is, 3 million point hit and split. It's essentially $3,000 in cash. Begins in race 10. That's the Galleret. And it's this Saturday. Post time here, special noon post at Belmont. I'll be here all day long with my buddies playing the ponies. We'll start with that late pick 4 in the Galleret, and I want to get alive in this sequence because I like some prices later on. So we're going to use 6 to kick things off. I want to use I'm So Fancy, who ships in for Arnaud Delacour. First time in this country, first time Lasix and flexibility. Chad Brown, she returns since stubbing her toe in the Athenia right here at beautiful Belmont Park, the way I am. Her second start of the year. She's going to have to prove she's not a Gulfstream Park filly. I like Mitchell Road. Looks like Joel Rosario and Bill Mott. You'll recognize the silks, same silks as Country House. Mrs. Shields owned this one. I think Mitchell Road's my top pick. Control the run of the race with Joelle on the front end. There's some other tactical speed in here, but she's the speed of the speed, and we all know how Joelle likes to take advantage of some paceless races. I think Mitchell Road can take them flag fall to that's all. We'll use in the leaf a Hall of Famer, Shug McGahee, and the other Chad Brown, if you will, Barca, who ran in this country just once in the Sands Point. She's a year older now. Gerard Ortiz Jr. rides. We haven't seen her for about 8 months, but I think she's going to improve in her 4-year-old year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. Let's get alive through that Galleret. That goes as race 10. Race 11's the grade 3 Chick Lang. 3-year-olds go to the dirt. Going to use a bunch in here as well. Pretty much half the field, just about half the field. Gladiator King's going to take some money. I'm going to try and beat him. There's some other speed in here. We'll use the 3 Malpay, who's one of the other speeds, won the last 2 starts for Joe Sharp. We'll use Cabot for Ron Moquette and Joel Rosario. The 2 horses I had a tough time separating, though, were the 7 Pyron for Hall of Famer Steve Asmussen and Ricardo Santana, and the top pick Preamble, a perfect 3 for 3 for Rodolphe Brzee and Florent Giroux. This horse one's going 7/8, cuts back to the 3/4 now. We'll use 3, 5, 7, 8 in that Chick Lang. Again, want to get alive. And we can go a little thin now in both the Dixie and the Preakness. In the Dixie, maybe the star power of the day is in the Dixie, because we'll see the return of Catholic Boy. And here's Catholic Boy taking our Belmont Derby last year, one of 2 consecutive thrilling stretch duels with Analyze It. Catholic Boy inside, Analyze It goes by him here, battles back. Of course, Catholic Boy would come back to win another one of our famous 1.25 mile races here on the circuit up at Saratoga, the Travers Stakes. And he came back to win that one, obviously, on the dirt. So turf and dirt and back-to-back starts. And this is Catholic Boy's first start since the Breeders' Cup Classic. They're going to start him on the turf. And a throwback. It's nice to have these throwbacks. It gives trainer Jonathan Thomas a lot of leeway as to how he can steer Catholic Boy's campaign. He'll start it in the Dixie on Saturday. I don't love relying solely on layoff horses, and while Catholic Boy is going to be tough to beat, Inspector Lindley has some recency on him. He won a money allowance race over at the Big A. He won a stakes race down at Tampa this year. Hall of Famer Shug McGahee has him going guns blazing right now, and Jose Lascano, who has had a sensational first 4.5 months or so of 2019, he climbs aboard. They make a very good marriage. Him and Inspector Lindley will use the 2 of those in race number 12. That's the Dixie. Race 13 is the big one, the Grade 1 Preakness Stakes, second jewel of the Triple Crown. They'll run it for the 144th time. I'm sorry to do this to you folks, but we got to look at that Kentucky Derby just one more time. And War of Will, of course, getting involved in that trouble on the turn. Maximum Security will be disqualified for bothering him, bothering Boat Express, bothering Long Range Toddy. You see War of Will. I'm one of those people that think War of Will was making a real move in the Kentucky Derby. I wouldn't be surprised if War of Will would have won the Kentucky Derby. I know a lot of people don't agree with that sentiment, but I think he was making a real move in here. He got into plenty of trouble when he was making what I thought was a winning move, at the very least, a solid, threatening move. He hangs around very nicely in his first start off 6 weeks. I think he'll benefit from that 6 week break now that he's got to come back in 2. I think he's going to be tough. I didn't make him my top pick, though. That rail draw was one of the things that made the deciding factor to not put him on top. I'm going to go right next door for my top pick. And here's Bourbon War down in sunny South Florida at Gulfstream Park. Code of Honor is going to get the money this day. That's hidden scroll backing up. You see Bourbon War. He's got a lot of work still to do at Gulfstream. Code of Honor gets the jump. Code of Honor would go on to finish second in the Kentucky Derby after a third-place finish in the Florida Derby. And you see Bourbon War picking him up and laying him down late in the game. That was a short stretch at Gulfstream Park. He gets held off by a half length by Code of Honor, but no pace to run into in the Florida Derby. He gets a nice little freshening. He went off a similar freshening when he returned at Gulfstream off a fourth-place finish in our Remsen over at Aqueduct, off just 17 days. I think there's a lot to like about Bourbon War. Mark Hennig, Rod Ortiz Jr., they're 12-1 on the morning line. I don't think we'll get that. I think he'll be about 8-1. 1s and 2s for me, War of Will and Bourbon War. Hope it's a battle in the Preakness. A $48 ticket, I think, gets the job done. Here it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. The big spread in the Gallarette. Not as big a spread in the Chick Lang. We'll hope Pyron or Preamble can keep their careers going on a forward trajectory. Inspector Lindley and Catholic Boy, I think that's enough to get through the Dixie, and then we'll take a couple of shots. I'm not an improbable guy. I'm not another Twist of Fate guy. We'll try War of Will on the top pick, Bourbon War, to get through to Preakness. Again, 3 million point hit and split for this late pick 4 at Pimlico on Saturday. Let's get the money and enjoy the Preakness.